Hey guys, Justin Miller here. Wow, I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am to be in front of you right now. A lot of you know me from my online presence and a project that I put together a long, long time ago called the Bold Project. And the Bold Project was gems, pieces of magic that I thought were worthy of an important part of the aspect of learning about magic. And the goal was bold presentations, bold methods, and bold reactions. And I couldn't find a better place to make this a home than Illusionist. I contacted Brad. I showed him all the material. He loved all the material. Peter, Adam, all the gang at Illusionist. And then I had a lot of material that I left aside. Like, I didn't know where to put it. And I was either going to release them as downloads or things like that. But then I started looking at them even more, and they were very bold-esque. There were some things about them that I was just like, you know what, this needs to be in the project. And sure enough, when I showed it to Brad, showed it to Peter, showed it to Adam, they loved it. They loved it. These are things that you're going to do when you perform these pieces. You're not going to believe they're going to work right away. You're really not. You're going to think there's no way that's going to work. But we decided to really kind of put it to the test. Where do we go? Where do we go in this world to see if something this bold, this ridiculously visual, this ridiculously reaction-getting, where would we go to get the best reactions, to get the best possible feedback? And there was no better place than New York City. Brooklyn, New York, actually. And so what we did is we just got together. We shot the explanations in a loft in Brooklyn, and you're going to hear a lot of noise. You're going to hear sirens. You're going to hear people dying. There's tons of stuff outside in the city right now that you can even hear now. But that's what it's all about. We wanted to leave that in there for you, where most people would take that out and go, well, no, it's not perfect. No, it's about the grittiness. It's about the Bold Project. It's really what the Bold Project's all about. Just that hardcore rawness of the magic that's produced. And that's, I think it's come across so well, so well. So I want to thank you guys so much, and get ready for a ride, because these are effects that's going to knock them out of the park. I promise you, a personal guarantee for me, that after watching these DVDs and performing these gems, these babies of mine, you're going to feel that boldness. You're going to be able to go out there and you're going to be confident. And you're going to be like, I can't believe this works, but it works. And you're going to realize that next level of being a magician and what that really means. Going from just doing a couple tricks for your friends and family to whatever, to reaching another level. Whether you're a hobbyist or a professional or whatever, you're going to get out of this project exactly what we want you to get out of it. And that's to become a better performer using sleight of hand, gimmicks, all the things around you in your environment, to create that moment of astonishment for your spectators. I'm Justin Miller, and this is the Bold Project.
This is really weird. It's kind of weird what I'm about to show you. Yeah. Grab one for me, anyone you like. Totally up to you. Show the lovely ladies over there too. Make sure they see it. You got it? Show the camera. Place it back for me. What's your name, darling? Come here. How far do you think that card is in the deck somewhere? Where do you think it is, roughly?
Like in a
third of the, maybe third or something? What if I told you right now, snap your fingers? It's right on top of the deck right now, Queen of Spades. Isn't that a great trick? It's a good trick, isn't it? What's wrong?
That's not my card.
That would have been a really cool trick, though. That would have been... Already? What was your card? Name it. Did you see what it was? Did you see?
Yeah, I saw it.
And it wasn't the Queen of Spades. Are you positive?
Yeah.
What was it?
10 of hearts.
Okay, check this out. Watch. Did you see it move?
Card, yeah.
Did you see it? Turn it over.
Oh no.
Isn't that crazy? It's wild, man. Let's try something else. Shuffle them again. Who's got a quarter on them? Who's got a quarter? You'll get it back. You'll get it back. Do you have a quarter?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, cool. Do me a favor, sweetheart. I want you to sign your name on that quarter anywhere you want, big bold letters. You got them shuffled? And can you help me out? Can you shuffle those? Or can you grab one?
Just one. Excuse me, I don't speak very
Yeah, just anyone. Absolutely. Yep. You're perfect. You're doing wonderful. You're doing good. You're doing perfect. Yeah. Take this pen, and I want you to sign your name, okay? On the card, on the face of the card. When you're done, show the camera, but not me.
Okay.
Not me right away. You got the quarter? We'll get back to that in a second. Talk.
Let's hit the quarter.
Later, bitches. You got a sign? Cool.
Yeah.
Recap the pen. Thank you so much. Show everybody else. Awesome. Awesome. Now, it's actually okay if I see it. It's okay. It's not one of those tricks. Like, ta-da! That's not, that's a horrible trick. That would be horrible. I'm going to place it on the outskirts. Who talks like that? I'm going to place it on the outskirts of the deck, okay? Who has a, here, you hold on to that for me. Who has a lighter by chance? Anybody, do you have a lighter? I don't think I have one. Do you have one? We'll get to, you know, wait, we'll wait. Let me see the quarter. Let me see the quarter. Okay, watch this. You sign this quarter, yeah? Check this out. I'm going to place the quarter in the deep moist of my pocket.
I want that quarter back.
Yeah, you do. Are you single?
Yes.
Good. Put your hand right here. Actually, lower. No, I'm just kidding. Right there. Don't move. Check this out. Watch. Come over here. Come over here. Watch. I'm going to do this real slow. You're holding it? Watch. Watch. I'm going to go as slow as I can. Listen. Watch. But wait a minute. If I have the quarter, then that means, go ahead, check it out.
Check in your pocket.
Just do what you got to do. Just put your damn hand in my pocket. Take it out. Oh, love that part. There's really nothing in there. It's just, no, go ahead. Yeah, reach
There's
in.
nothing in there.
Reach in. Really, there is. I wouldn't lie to you.
Hand out his pocket.
Do you feel it? Look, 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 it's right there, it's right there. Yeah, I didn't want to do it myself. Take it out, go ahead. Turn it over. And that's your sign.
That's hot. What's your name?
JM, or
JM.
Justin, yeah.
Oh, what you doing with this one?
That's yours. What's wrong with him? What is
I
it?
said, what you doing with this marker?
I'm just gonna put it in my pocket now.
Okay.
So this is a really cool coin and card transpo that happens in your pocket, and they get to do everything pretty much. It's really, really fun. So Brad's got a quarter. You would have them sign a quarter. And you're also gonna need a Sharpie. This is in your right-hand pocket. So a card is selected by another person, or it can be the same person, doesn't really matter. I would have the card selected first and then have them bring the quarter out secondly. As they're looking at the card and they sign their name on the card, okay, you're going to use your leg here and you're going to push off the top card and turn it over. So now it's like that, okay? Show it again to everybody else, come back down, and now you have a break above two or below two cards that are face up. This is just a way of making your doubles look nicer, so it doesn't look like you're doing anything funny, okay? Turn the card over, place the X card now on the outskirts of the deck. I always make a funny line about that, but right about there, okay? So the real card's on top, they think it's here. I say also, do you have a quarter or a coin I could borrow? And if you'll sign your name on that. Now, as they're doing that, you're just gonna palm the top card and you're gonna go to your pocket and you're gonna say, I think I need a lighter too. I don't think I have. Yeah, forget it, we'll do it some other time. So it looks like you're ready for something else, but then you just make a, forget it, whatever. So I palm that card inside there, okay? And the palm there you go. The palm I use, it's real simple. I don't go crazy, sorry about that. I don't go crazy. I don't try to do a fancy palm. They're signing their name on that quarter. I just put that puppy right there and go directly into my pocket, okay? Nope, okay, forget it, whatever. You got the quarter signed, awesome. They think the card's still here, you're in perfect position. Take the pen back, thank you so much. Put that in the other pocket. Show the quarter. You're gonna supposedly place the quarter into your pocket, But as you place it in, you're going to push it up into a thumb clip or a thumb palm, okay? So that's all happening as you come here like that, okay? You then ask a person, and if you're single, you can do some really funny lines here. If it's a girl, guy, whatever. Put your hand right here and then say, oh, wait, are you single? If they say, yeah, you say, okay, well, a little bit further down then. And that's a funny, funny moment line. If not, then don't worry about that. Have them put their hand right here. So they put their hand right here. You say, watch. You just want to make sure your angles are in a perfect position here. You grab the card, supposedly the sign card. You say, this is really crazy. And now you're gonna, it looks like you just basically pick that card up and put it in your hand. But what you're doing is you're lifting up like this, okay? It's flicking off. And then the thumb is going to rotate that card back as the deck turns, like that. So it looks like you're kind of picking that card up, point, and really milk this part. And slowly, and then all of a sudden turn your hand over. And there's the signed coin. They just saw a quarter transfer from your pocket to your hand, and not only that, but the card changed into the quarter. And this is the best part. They have their hand right here. You say, check it out. They immediately go into your pocket and they can pull out the card that they just saw in your hand 2 seconds ago. And that is called Eclipse. Four kings are actually placed into the box, locked inside. Besides the four kings, I'm also going to use another card. Let's see, I think I want that one. Yeah, the Joker. So we use the Joker for this. The idea is to get these cards to change places. And it looks something like this. So as you already know, I love transpositions. I love them, they're magical, they're spectacular, they're amazing, they're impossible to figure out. I love that kind of stuff. But I also love the impulse change. Jack Carpenter, the creator of the impulse change, I've heard so many people get on the cafe and other places like, yeah, the impulse change that Justin Miller created. I did not create the impulse change. Please stop saying I created the impulse change. I just like it a lot, and I love the man. Me and Jack have had conversations about this, actually, and I've thanked him many times, and I've apologized that many people have said to him, you know, that I created the impulse change. I've never said that. It's never been on any of my DVDs where I've said that. Jack, you're an awesome card guy, and you deserve all the respect for this change. It's my favorite one-hand change without question, and I still use it today. I've used it now for, what, 15 years it seems like now. It's beautiful. But I came up with a variation for it for a card transpo. And if you love the impulse change, Jack Carpenter and another guy's coming out with a treatise on it, so it's going to be really, really good. But here's what I came up with. This trick's called light wave, okay? Because it happens just like, whoa. It's very quick. It's a fast thing. You're going to need a dupe for this. So I have two ace of clubs, okay? I'm going to take out any four of a kind, and I'm going to get a break under the top card, which is one of the dupes. And I square the cards up. I say, for this, we're going to use the king of clubs. I just place it on the bottom, not holding a break or anything. King of diamonds, king of spades, king of hearts. The same move I'm doing for checkmate, I'm getting in position here for light wave. I turn the cards over, I lift up, and I have a break under those 5 cards. I spread, and as I spread, I ask them to check out the box, make sure it's empty. This does 2 things. Just in case I might flash a little bit there and then I can readjust. They're doing all this other stuff, so they're not even worried about that. So that's kind of the reason I do that more than anything. The other reason is I want them to see that there's nothing else being used except for these cards. So as they say, nope, everything's fine, I turn these cards over, all 5, bring them up to the top, and I'm going to square them up. But as I square them up, I'm going to push with my forefinger of the left hand the 4 kings back onto the deck while I'm adjusting that ace on top as I square up, okay? So it should look like you've done nothing except square the cards up like so and elevate them. All right? Come here, drop, and this is, you'll remember this move from the Drunken Monkey poem, one of the effects of transpo. Drop supposedly the 4 kings into the box, but really it's just that 1 ace. And then continue to kind of shake like that, and it sounds like more than 1 card. As you say, okay, we'll put the 4 kings inside there, perfect. Hold out your hand. They hold out their hand, they're holding onto the box. I'm now gonna cut the deck. What I've done is I've now cut the kings and the ace into the center. I now come towards myself, I necktie the entire deck, and I pull up the ace, okay? As I push off the 4 kings onto the ace, I then transfer everything to the top. I lift this up, and I give this card to them. Now their job is to turn that card over because they haven't seen it yet, and we use this card as well. As they're looking at the card, all I'm gonna do, real quickly, I'm gonna push off the top 4 cards, and I'm just gonna turn them over on the side of my leg, like this. While I hold a break, that's it, okay? So once again, I've cut, and we'll use that card as well. And we're done, okay? I've done all that right now. I've got my break, they turn over that card now, ace of clubs. I pick this card up, I'm gonna place this on top, but I don't want them to see the kings yet, so I just place this to the side and then bring this back down, so it's a nice soft moment instead of that. So it's here to here. Pick up all 5 cards. Excuse me, Jesus. Pick up all 5 cards, put them in the middle of the pack, and you're gonna hide the thickness with this hand for a second, because you'll be able to show a single card here in a minute. But for right now, you gotta hide that thickness. Push the back 4 cards like you're doing an impulse change. So it's about a ½ inch down. So I have the 4 kings now, and I have that ace right there, okay? So once again, there's my ace, come forward, and then push in, all right? Now I have a single nice card, nice single thing. Now I'm gonna do the impulse change. The impulse change is taught this way. Everybody I've ever seen do the impulse change that's done it the wrong way has always done this. They cock the card over with this hand. To show the singleness of the card, you want to cock it over with the left forefinger, like so. So that's pushing over all the cards, like that. The third finger, your ring finger, is going to cover and push against that corner of the kings at the same time, okay? Now if I was to do the regular impulse change, it would look like this. Comes up, over, and down. That's the impulse change as you shake, all right? But I'm not going to do the regular impulse change. I'm going to change it up a little bit here. And it looks like this. Here, up. I'm now going to come over with cover of my hand, and it's going to look like I just rotate that card. What I'm really doing is doing the impulse change. So the moment this comes up here, so this finger's down here, I then cover, this comes up, I do the impulse change as I push this in, and then I grab this corner of the kings, I continue pushing that card in as this is rotated around that finger and spread instantly. Okay, let's do that again. Break that down. So we're here, push in, expose view, the key to this is speeding it up a little bit. You want to speed it up, so not that slow. You want it to be this quick for the impulse change, that quick for that, and then immediately just come over and spread. okay? But your hand's covering it the entire time, obviously, or that would just be a stupid trick. Like, hey, watch me push cards into a deck. So it's like this to there. And it's very pretty. It's a very startling moment. They're not expecting it. I originally came up with this move, and I did it for one card for the impulse change, but I would do it here, and then I would come up. So I would come this way, and then I would rotate this way, and then show that the cards changed. And then I realized that, wait a second, I'm missing a moment here. I'm missing a very visual, powerful moment. And that moment is when you can show the single card, come over, grab it, and it changes into the other cards. It's ridiculous looking. Now at this point, cards go off to the side, or Peter's idea here, you could just show the cards, block push off, and then show the rest. Really though, if you think about it, there's really no reason to. But so don't run when no one's chasing you. But it is a good idea if you really do want to show the cards and not show that joker or that ace in the middle or whatever dupe you have, right? Those go off to the side. If those are the kings, they lift up their hand. They open up the box themselves, and inside the box is not the kings anymore, where they just saw, but that ace they just saw a few seconds ago. So it's a really big moment for them. That's why it's called Light Wave. So I hope you guys dig that. Also, we want to give credit to Dan and Dave. Dan and Dave have something similar, meaning looking. There's a card goes in the deck, but it's rotated, 300 or 180 degrees this way, all the way around, changes, and then some other stuff happens. Not the same method, not the same mechanics in any way. Definitely a similar thing. If a spectator were to see it, they would think it's the same thing. They wouldn't know how to describe it. But being magicians, obviously, it's not the same thing. So we definitely want to give credit to Dan and Dave. But the inspiration for this was definitely Jack Carpenter's Impulse Change. I started messing around with this out of Modus Operandi, his book back in 1980-something, and fell in love with it, cut my teeth on it. So hopefully you guys really like that. It's a fun transpo. Very easy to do.
Who has the quarter?
You got change on you?
You have a quarter? Who has a quarter? A change or something? You do? Cool. Sign your initials there, please. Sign your initials on the opposite side when she's done, okay? Oh, by the way.
Do you want to do loop after this?
Loop.
Summons?
Yes. Sure. Absolutely.
These guys are fantastic.
Oh, of course. Of course. Right. And let's be adults. Can we be adults, please? Can we? Okay. We've all seen these.
Yeah.
We all know what they are, right? I've had this for a while, but whatever. It's been a slow week. All right. I'm going to try this. Oh, check that out, please. Check out the package. Make sure there's no rips or tears.
Yes.
Because then that would just be a bad next morning.
Completely closed.
Completely closed. Check this out, watch. Did you see it happen? Sounds kind of heavier. Have you ever had somebody take a condom and just, that's in the weirdest thing you've ever, now you can say you've had it done, right? It's kind of weird. But check this out. Look. I think I just got my eye. Holy shit.
No way. No way.
Inside
Yo.
your signed quarter. And
Oh
that's
my gosh.
and that's the circle of life.
Wow.
You can take it.
Oh my God.
Take the whole thing. Yeah.
Your tip much bigger than a quarter. I like that.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. I know there's people. I was just watching the show where they do magic. I'm like, yo, they all in. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Thank you so much. Cool.
So I always get asked by magicians, what's your real work? What do you really do for people? What I really do for people is sick and twisted and bizarre and not your normal stuff. I just don't do a lot of pick a card tricks for real people. I do stuff like this, and this is called the circle of life. And I was at a party one night, and I was jazzing. I was just jazzing our magic, and I don't know what I was doing. Somebody asked me to do something, and this girl was drunk, and she pulled out her purse, and I asked her for a pen or something. I can't remember, a quarter or something, what it was. And a condom fell, and everybody laughed. Everybody just laughed. And I was like, wow, that's got a huge reaction. And all she did was pull out a condom accidentally. What if you pulled out a condom on purpose? Like, what would be the storyline? What could you do with that? So it wasn't an idea of, I want to take this quarter and put it into something. It really came from the idea of what a condom is and what it could be used for, other than what it is used for. And so I like things like that. Like, what can you think of using this item for something that's not usually used for, and how would that get a reaction? Because to get a reaction when a condom just comes out, that's amazing to me. That's incredible. So I came up with this entire routine, and it's loosely based off of a 1/4-inch sugar packet, basically, more than anything. But you're going to use a condom package. So before I do this, I put a little baby powder on the condom, okay, on the wrapper. And this gets a nice, really funny line and a great moment of comedy. And put this into your wallet, okay? And when you're ready to perform, you're going to borrow a quarter from somebody. They're going to have it signed. And as they're signing it, I'll sign both sides. I'm feeling frisky today. Signed. Okay. You pull out the condom, but here's how you pull it out. This sounds so funny. You say to them, we're all adults here, so everybody knows what this is. And then you bring this out, baby powder's on this side, and you come out like this. And you say, and then make a joke. You can make a joke like, oh, this isn't the right one. Where's my magnums or whatever, something like that. And then actually pull out a Magnum flashlight. That'd be funny, actually. And then you say, obviously, I haven't used this. I haven't had sex for a while. It's been a slow week. And just look directly at him. It's been a slow week. And as you say that, you're going to blow on the condom, and the baby powder is just going to go everywhere. So it looks like there's dust. Like, yeah, it's been a slow week. And just really play that out. It's so great. What's nice about this is you can keep doing this because there's more on it. So anyways, get that really moment. Yeah. Check it out. Make sure there's no slits in it or holes, because then, the next morning would suck. So these are all lines that I use. They're just, and honestly, some of these lines came from that one performance with those two girls, which was the best performance for this we've shot. But they're funny lines, Make sure there's no slits or holes inside. Obviously, the next morning would really suck, all these little things. And so you hand them a condom, all that good stuff. They check it out. You get the quarter back. Or nickel or whatever it's going to be. Don't use a penny or a dime. They're too small, okay? God, there's so many lines for this. It's so ridiculous. You're going to do David Williamson's Strike Vanish with a condom and a coin, okay? And so there's no finesse here as far as hiding things. You don't want to do any slidey stuff. I thought about, doing some really crazy stuff where it goes here and then you just show it like this and then pull it but it looks okay, but it's now there's just so much more you have to do now. So I want to get it in this position easier than just doing that, because in order to get in that position, I have to pull back, push back in, and then pull back out, okay? And so with the Strike Vanish, it goes right into that position. So you're here to there, and it looks like the coin is gone. Now, you have about 4 seconds before they start putting things together, okay? And you have to interrupt their brain signals, and this is how you're going to do it. So here, bam, they obviously know the coin's not here, right? So they immediately are going to go to this hand. Now, in order for them not to go to that hand immediately, what you're going to do is you're going to rotate, you're going to open your fingers and turn your hand. If you think about it, there's no reason why it should be on the opposite side of the hand, but you're giving them a point of reference. And in that action, you classic palm the coin, okay? So you're here, and I'm just gonna pop that puppy up there, okay? Okay, and that just, nope, not there. Now, you come up with the condom, and now you rotate it and turn it around. Drop this hand casually. Don't do that. Don't do the spider. That's ridiculous. But if you're standing, just, you know, hey, what's going on? Deal with it. So you'll get that later. You know, you can show the condom back and forth, and they're really looking, pull your sleeves up, really milk this all for all it's worth. God, there's so many lines here. Not even intentional lines. As you show the condom one more time, and they could verify, I now go up to their ear, and I shake. I said, it sounds kind of heavy, doesn't it? They can't hear anything, by the way. But they're going to agree with you because they just saw something vanish. So now you're saying to them, where could it be? Let's play the game where it could be. Sounds kind of heavy, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, it's, you know. And then if they say no, you say, have you ever had somebody wave a condom by your ear? And then they'll laugh. You go, well, now you can say that it's been done before. You know, and so there's that moment. You can get the comedy moment or you can get the really magical moment. So it's up to you depending on what they say. Come back down, and as you come back down, the fingers are going to open up and let that coin fall into finger palm as you place the condom on top and pick up everything. Okay? So it's here. Sounds kind of heavy, doesn't it? Blah, blah, blah. Come up. And then like this. So you've showed the condom 360. They've heard it. Your hands have been shown empty. This is where this really kind of sinks in now. Now you're going to press the quarter up against the back of the condom like that. And you're going to open up the condom. And as you open up the condom, you're going to hold onto the quarter with the thumb. So real gently like this. Now all you're going to do is you're going to pull this out. You're going to pull the actual condom out. This is just, and once again, like, what can you use a condom for except what it's meant for? It's just a weird thing. It's so strange. I love stuff like this. And you grab the coin from behind, and then you're going to pull that and push at the same time while pulling the condom out. And as you pull the condom out, it's going to look like this comes out with it immediately. You then press that in, drop this on the floor, hand it to a dog, I don't care. You're going to show this side first, and then this side next. And this will get a reaction at this point. And then you just pause. And if this is a nickel, this is a line I came up with on the spot in New York. If this is a nickel, you can pause and go, and I think that's how Nickelback got its name. Or no, I say, and you can have your Nickelback. And then I say, I think that's how the group got its name. And then hand it to them, okay? Or you can do this, which is a really neat and a weird thing to say, but it's really weird because it seems like it's part of this concept. And you just open up your hand for, and that's the circle of life. And then just pause and stop. And that's the circle of life.
What's your name?
Claudette.
Claudette?
It's okay,
Claudette.
Claudette?
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
I'm like,
And what's your name?
Caroline.
Hi, Caroline. Will you help us out? And what's your name,
I'm
brother?
Raymond.
Justin. Nice
And
to meet
you're
you,
David.
brother. No, Justin.
Justin. Okay.
I get confused, right?
Okay.
I actually used to be a pastor.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you shuffle this for me? Can you mix them up? Mix them
I
up.
think I'm still on duty, too. Lord have mercy. That's all right. I like breaking the rules.
Cool.
Really good.
So you shuffle them, right? We're going to take off the bottom 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Will you shuffle those? Turn them face down, though. Turn them face down.
Lord. They gotta get me. They got a camera on us, too.
Don't worry, we're all going
Okay.
We're all going down.
You said you're all going down together?
Yeah, we're all going to be sad down.
Can somebody help me out here? Can you help me out? He shuffled the cards. Can you remember the bottom card for me? Can you remember the bottom card? Show it to the camera. You're gonna help me out, okay? Can you hold out your hand for me? And actually take the cards and put them in your pocket. Put them right in your pocket there. So we count at 10, you remembered a card, right? Okay. And you're gonna help me here, okay? So we'll get 10 more cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll use this one too. So that's cool? 10. We won't use the rest of the deck, okay?
Okay.
And can you count those for me? And here's how I want you to count them.
Okay.
1, 2, but flip them over when you do it. Can you do that for me? No, you do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So you verified 10 cards, yeah? Can you place those in your pocket, please? And you remember the card? This is where it gets really cool, okay? Take the cards out. They didn't disappear, did they? That would have been amazing, right? Cool. And can you put your phone away so we can use your hands? Thank you, darling. You're doing wonderful, by the way. Hold out your hands like this for me. Perfect. Together like this. Beautiful. Here's what we're gonna do. You remember the card, yeah? 1, 2, move your thumbs away. There you go. Like a table. Perfect table. You're wonderful. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you remember the card. Think of the card. Look at me. I'm gonna try something. Watch.
Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna touch the cards. There were 10 cards. I said were because one card has actually disappeared. To verify that, take the cards, count them face down in my hand, please, out loud.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
9 cards.
I know y'all don't have that Jack of Diamonds.
Now for the next thing, was it Jack of Diamonds? That means, wait, what was it?
I know what mine was.
Yeah, that's the card, right? Is it there? Let me know if it's there. Do you see it? It's gone. It's completely gone. Here's the best part. Take the cards out of your pocket. And what was the card? What was the card? 10 of diamonds? Can you count them face up in my hand? Out loud? Yeah. You had 10, right?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know how you did that. Good trick.
Oh, thanks. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll look for you.
Thank you.
God bless you guys.
Thank you very much.
So I've always loved cards across. I think it's a great trick. It gets great reactions. I think it's too long though. I think 3 cards going across it's a great showman piece, but it's just for street or for restaurants or for bars and things like that. It's just way too long of a trick. So I took my cue from David Blaine and Paul Harris's Strange Travelers. I love that as well, but it was gimmicked, and I wanted to create an impromptu version of that. So this has been in the workings over about probably 5 years or so. Finally got it to a place where I'm really happy with it. There's no palming. That was one of the major concerns I had. No palming, no gimmicks. They always knew they had 10 cards. They counted the cards themselves. The card that they thought of traveled over without ever saying it. So, and I think there's some really great moments here. So this is a real worker cards across that you're really going to enjoy. It's totally impromptu. So I have the deck shuffled by them, okay? They shuffle the cards. Then tell them to remove the bottom 10 cards. Rest of the cards, place aside for a second. Or they hand them back to you. They then shuffle these cards face down. Tell them to shuffle face down so they don't know where the cards are. Okay, while they're shuffling the cards, here's what you're going to do. You're going to, almost like you're doing a Cardini change or kind of Danny Garcia's ego change, which is based off the Cardini change. And it's also called a coffin change and other changes. Like, it's so weird. This change has gone through so many names. Your pinky and your middle finger, or your ring finger here, are going to pull down on that card like that, okay? But instead of doing a change, you're going to load this card behind this card, okay? Now, there's a couple different ways of doing this. I thought about doing it like this, and then spreading, and then going like this. But honestly, for me personally, I like to do this. Great, you got them. And as soon as I get them back, I just pull down here, and I'm looking directly at them. I said, do me a favor, here's what I want you to do. And I'm just going to do a Kelly bottom replacement, right, of this packet. And I'm going to just feed that into that bottom card there, like that. Okay? okay? And while I'm doing that, right when I come here, I then come up like this. And I tell them, remember the card you shuffled to the bottom of that packet, okay? So they remember it. Now I'm gonna come back down and it's gonna look like I just hand this packet off to them. But what I've secretly done is place that card second to the top. So now it's in this position, okay? And so what it looks like from a kind of an exposed view, you're gonna pick up the packet here, fingers are gonna come forward, this finger's gonna push in, and then this hand's gonna continue on in that motion. And what I say to them is, just remember the card, you got the card, great. Hold out your hand for me, if you would. And that's it, done, okay? This bigger motion covers a smaller motion, bam. I hand that to them, I tell them to put them in their pockets, okay? Or pocket, or whatever. They put it in their pocket. I say, and for you, we're gonna get 10 cards too. As I say that, as I'm pointing to them, their whole direction is looking at me as I'm talking, I push over the top 2 cards, I pull these off as 1, and I count 2, 3, 4, 5. At 5, I stop counting out loud, but I then count silently. There's a reason why. I'm gonna place these cards in my pocket, because I don't want any other cards dealt with here. And then I say to them, I think there's 10 cards here. Would you please count them? So now they're going to count them. And I show them how to count. This is an idea from Paul Harris. I say, do me a favor, turn the cards face down one at a time. That's 1, 2, do you understand? And as I say that, I bring the card back up, okay? It's going to camouflage when they get down to this card. They're going to say 10, but there's really 11 cards here. So I hand them these cards. And they just go 1. I've never had one person spread nothing ever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The moment they count 10 cards, I tell them to put them in their pocket. So they put those in their pocket, okay? I then go back to this person. I say, okay, we'll try something here. You're thinking of a card. Remember what the card is. Watch closely. I'll try this, and I just act like I'm taking something from their pocket and throwing it over there, which gets kind of a reaction. It's kind of interesting. They really react. They're like, oh, wait, what's going on? I say, look, bring your cards out. They bring the cards out. I ask them to hold their hand open like this, okay? There's a lot of jokes you can make here, but so they hold their hands open, and then I'm gonna miscount one of the cards. There's only 9 cards here, okay? I'm gonna miscount it. Okay, so it's something I came up with a long time ago, but it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like 10 cards, okay? Other people have come up with the same idea. No original work there, but a long time ago I came up with this thing. So you're gonna put that in their hands, and on usually the 5th card or 6th card, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th card or 6th, you're going to come off like this, so the card comes back, and then you're going to push your thumb up at the same time on the packet in their hand. So it looks like it moves and it adds that card, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can even jolt a little bit there like you messed up or something like that. Think about what you've done. You've recounted the cards, there's 10 cards, you're now backing away. You're not doing anything at this point. Remember the card, watch, done. Did you feel it happen? They're like, what? Count the cards in my hand. So they're gonna count the cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They just saw 10 cards. They heard 10 cards. It was in their hand. I then turn the cards over, I say, don't tell me what your card was, but do you see it? They say no. Once again, this is a great moment from Strange Travelers, but it was due to the gimmicks used in Strange Travelers that allowed you to do this. Here we're doing the exact same thing impromptu. So I think it really kind of changes the game here for this. They say no. You say, look, and then put these cards back in your pocket now. And this is the other thing I like about this, is that you're only left with 1 packet at the end here. There's no 3 cards, 6 cards, 20 cards. It's just this situation. You're only making 1 card jump instead of 3 cards. And I think it's a lot better than making 3 cards jump, because people can get really disinterested very easily. So you say to them, turn the cards face up and count them in my hand. And before you do that, you look at the person who thought of a card. What was the card you thought of? And it would be the bottom card, so the 4 of spades. Please count them in my hand. They count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once they get to 10, they realize they got another card, and bam, there's the card that person just named and it shows that that card really did travel from one packet to the other. And that is called personal bubble because it really gives a feeling that you're invading a person's personal space. Very simple, very easy, very strong cards across that I know you guys are really going to enjoy.
Pen at. There we go. Sign your name right there for me so we know it's your bill.
For my initials.
Yeah, that's cool. So when the cops come, they know how to, right?
Yeah.
Hey, can you hold that for me? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Do you like card tricks?
Yeah, man, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
dude. So we're gonna do kind of like a card pick, but not the same thing. I want you to make sure that I didn't switch it or anything, right?
Yeah,
Because I know that's what you're gonna think. And I do it on purpose for that reason. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to use this area here. Okay. So we'll try this. I don't know if this will work, but I'm hoping it's gonna work. Let's just set this down for a second. Here's what I want you to do. Grab a card for me, anyone you like. Are you cool with that? Yeah. Don't let me see it. Show it to her. Show it to the camera. Got it?
Yeah.
Place it back for me. How far down the deck do you think that is? Of this half, actually.
Somebody right under the half.
Can you put your hand right on top of there for me? Push. No, your hand. Your full hand. Push down. Don't move. That's your job. You ready?
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna try this. Hopefully it'll work. See, I wanted to do this because I don't want the wind to, mess me up and stuff. So I'm gonna try to do something with your bill, okay?
All right.
You selected a card, you signed the bill.
Yeah,
Ready?
yeah.
Okay, watch this, watch this. Don't move. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Did you see it go?
Nah, that's crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
Look, your hand's been on top the whole time. I haven't come near it, right?
Yeah.
Look. Lift your hand up slowly.
Oh, God.
Look what's happened.
That's crazy.
Wait, stop. But it landed next to a card, didn't it?
Which one? This one?
Yeah. What was your card? Name it.
It was a red jig. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's give me a minute. It's been a minute since I've seen some real magic. That's crazy.
Oh, right on. And that's signed, yeah?
Yeah.
You signed it?
Let's check and see.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Look at that. Yeah.
Isn't that wicked?
Yeah.
So I use Zeitgeist a lot. This is a really fun bill transpo that it finds a playing card as well underneath their hand. And it uses the signed bill, so it's really, really cool. The gimmick is a double backer card again, and you're gonna cut a dollar bill in half, okay? And this is what I've done here so you can see exactly. Cut a bill in half, and then from that half, you're gonna cut it again, like so, okay? You're gonna fold those two corners over each other, like that, and then you're going to tape this entire section together. So it looks like this. Like this. Like that. If you were to use a real, like just a straight half of a bill, it's too lumpy. And that's the problem I ran into. So you're actually making it look like that, basically. Then put a piece of double stick tape on the top back, okay? On top back. And you're gonna stick that to the double back card, but you're gonna go sideways. You're gonna tilt it. And the reason for that is you want this to feel loose so that you can actually do this. This is a nice moment of looseness instead of being stuck all the way to the card, okay? And when you put this down, it really looks like it's just laying on top there. It's not really stuck on top. That's gonna go on top of the deck, and you're gonna put one card on top of that, and you're ready to perform. And usually gimmicks like this and gimmicks like Torn Abroad and things like that, I'll keep in my pocket, my wallet, whatever. And when I need them on an offbeat, I'll just load one card on top and I'm ready to go, okay? I would never do this right in front of them. Like, hey, I was just gonna, no, I'll do something else here real quick. And then go to the bathroom, you know, go get a drink, go, you know, whatever. Go for a walk around the block or something. I don't know. Then come back and go, hey, I was thinking about magic. I want to show you something. So that's your setup. I can go into the box, nice and neat. Borrow a bill and fold the bill after it's signed the exact same way that it would look here. So we're going to fold it like this. Just like that, okay? Once the bill is folded like that, this is a real fun little switch I came up with. Check this out. It's so deceptive. I thought of so many different ways of doing this because I've got to get this bill under this card to the bottom of the deck. And I was just struggling of how to do this. And finally I came up with this. I was using my wallet at one point and doing a switch, and it was just too much work. Why is the wallet out? There's no reason for it to be out. I'm not using it for any reason except to switch something. So you're going to place this, you have a break, right, on the top card. You're going to place this underneath, like so, all right? And immediately, you're going to pull this away, and as soon as you pull this away, the thumb's going to go on top. Okay? So slow, like that. So I've got my break, like that. Now you're going to transfer this whole packet to the bottom. And it should look just like this. Signed bill, thank you so much. I tell you what, let's use the bill. We'll use it in a second. Places underneath. You're now going to cut the deck somewhere in the middle and place this off to the side, either on the card box or whatever. And you don't want to move this around, so you just want to gently lay it down. And you really act like that, like you're just, you know, we'll just set that aside. Okay. Now, if you don't call attention to that, there's no reason for them to go back to it yet. Okay, so just, it's okay. This is a great moment in audience management. You think that you have a gimmick out, oh my God, they're going to figure it out, and no, it just looks like you've taken a bill and placed it off the side. If the actions are natural enough, then what you said you did looks like what you did. Remember that. Spread the deck, keeping that bill underneath, held by the fingers of the left hand. I like to kind of rest on the edge or the ledge here of the first finger, like that, so it stays right there. They take out a card. As they're looking at the card, you're now going to call the bill over with the middle finger of the right hand underneath the packet of the right hand packet, okay? So once again, they've selected a card. Great, wonderful, and we're done, okay? It should be messy, it shouldn't be perfect. They put the card back, remember what the card is, square everything together and deposit the bill on top. And this is what I like to do. I like to square this together, and then immediately I like to turn this packet around and show and say, remember, your card's somewhere in this packet. Because I can't do it on this side. So I just come on this side and then just show. And it also gives a great foreshadowing of what they're going to experience in a second. Because in a second, when they lift their hand, they have this thing happening. They have this bulge thing happening. Here, it's completely flat. And so they remember, you know, there's my card, boom. So it's a psychological way of letting them know everything's okay, basically. Hand them the cards, have them put their hand on top. So they do that, just like that. Pick this up over here. Handling it as if you don't want the bill to fall off, so very gentle. Now say we're going to try something with your bill, and I just lift up like that. And just, it shows a nice moment of disconnect from the card. Because that will make the vanish even more amazing, okay? You say watch, and I hold the deck over, and I go 1, 2, 3, and then just drop. That's it. And all you're doing is this. Just letting that roll over. But you're putting a little oomph to it, and it looks like it vanishes. It looks like it goes right through somewhere. Immediately, I grab this card, I go to the bottom, I show all the other cards. Gone. I can now dribble the cards off to the side. lift your hand up. As soon as they lift their hand up, they're going to realize something's happened. They felt something. They can actually feel that getting actually bigger when they lift up. They lift up, they see something, they cut. You show them that that's their bill. You have them open it up. There it is. It was just over here 2 seconds ago. You say, but it landed next to a card. What was your card? They say the name of the card, of course. They turn it over, and that's the signed card. Now, there's another way to make it vanish, another way. And depending on just how your audience is, if they're touchy, grabby, feely people, I wouldn't do it if they are. But if they're not, and you can trust them, awesome. Because even sometimes with the best audience management, we still have people who just go ridiculously stupid. So they're here, everything's on top. Show it here, and then just throw the card at their hand like that, okay? And it doesn't have to fall right on their hand at all. It can just fall right off, okay? Just make sure it doesn't turn over. So bam, gone. Immediately just pick up this card and do like a pirouette spin with it or something, and then drop it away. Drop it off the side. And stop, and just don't pay attention to it now, okay? So once again, it's one of those things that if you feel you can get away with it, great. I've tried other ways of doing it, like acting like I have the bill in my hand, but I just don't like stuff like that. I think it's way more visual like that. It just happens. Bam, they lift up, reveal the bill, and then reveal the card. So that is called zeitgeist. So this is called double decker. This is a really cool sandwich routine. Check this out. It uses 2 kings. The 2 kings are going to be placed off to the side, or they can be given to the spectator to hold, doesn't matter. A card is freely selected out of the pack. They're going to sign their name on that card. They're going to show their friends and family, all that good stuff. The card is then placed somewhere deep, deep within the crevices of the deck, and lost somewhere in the pack. And you can remind them that it is somewhere in the deck. You ask them to say stop. Wherever they say stop, they either take the cards and they place them right back, or you can pick them up, does not matter. But then you show very, very, very fairly. There's nothing in between those cards, nothing. And their card's not near here, it's not on the bottom, it's not on the top. They would agree with you. You say, watch, this happens very quickly. And that's all it takes. And one card is now in between those kings. You have them turn the card over, they turn the card over, it's the signed card, the 4 of diamonds. You say, we'll do this one more time. We'll take the kings, we'll put them in different parts of the pack. So they're actually separated. You say, now my job is to get that 4, your card, in between those kings again. Would that be amazing? Of course, they're going to say yes. You say, check this out, watch. This is amazing. Of course, they're going to throw things at you at this point, which is fine. You say, you're right, it's not exactly in between the kings. You then hand the deck to them. They square up the cards in their hands very, very slowly. You ask them, did they feel it? They say no. If they say yes, then, be their friend. They turn the cards over. And sure enough, in between the kings, one last time, is one card that's found its way, and it is their signed, selected card. So Aaron Fisher has a great trick called Search and Destroy. And it's about 2 jokers singling out a selected card through a process of elimination, and they get to see and feel the moment when it happens inside their hand. I love that trick. It's such a great trick. So I want to kind of come up with my own version of this. I have tons of sandwich routines, but I don't have any that actually happen in their hand unless you're loading a card and those kind of things. So I came up with this little gem. I love this thing. Really fun. Take out any 2 kings, hearts, diamonds, or you can use spades and clubs or queens or aces, whatever you want to do, but just make sure they're a pair, okay? Get a break under the bottom 2 cards of the face-up deck. Show the kings. You're going to turn all 4 cards over as one. And then you're going to bring each card up like that. So your thumb pops open like that. If you have a card box, and I just did it actually about an hour ago for a guy, or an hour and a half ago, whatever it was, who owned a jewelry store here. And I just handed him the cards. So you hold him the cards. Now, I was doing some sandwich tricks before this, a couple different phases. So he got used to me using these cards. So I just did this and then just hand the cards to them. And he was fine with that. He didn't look or anything because he assumed those were the cards. So if you've already established that you're doing a trick like this, then great, do that. If not, and you're concerned that they might actually look at the cards again, because they might have thought you did something funny. That's why I would never open with this. I would maybe put it somewhere in the middle. Put it on top of the card box or on the table or in your pocket or something. It's fine. You're now going to spread the deck. Remember, you have 2 kings face up on the bottom. Spread the deck, have a card selected, any card at all. As they're signing their name on the card, you're going to do 2 things. You're going to pull down with your pinky on the bottom card, like that. You're going to swing cut over, and you're going to push off the top card of the left-hand packet, get a break, dropping the card from the left or from the right thumb, and then picking back up and pulling everything back and holding that break. I know it seems like a lot, but I'll show you again. So don't get scared. Don't get scared. So here we are. Cool. Grab a card. Awesome. They're signing it. I get my pinky break. Here we go. Swing cut. Push over. Come back and hold the break. Okay. This is a way of getting the card in between the kings while doing a version of Marlowe's tilt, which I think the first person to do it this way with the side step was Homer Lewag, if I'm not mistaken. First person I ever saw do it that way, actually. So that goes directly in between the kings. Now you can either push everything in and lift up at that break and cut to the bottom. I don't like to do that. I like to make it look like the cards haven't done anything. So I do a pass that Steve Fearson showed me a long time ago. He called it the shadow pass, not to be confused with Luke Dancy's shadow pass. 2 totally different things, same name, unfortunately. And I've taught this before in some of my DVDs with Illusionists, but I'll do it again because it is a great, great pass. And I have no idea who the origins of this pass are. Steve Fearson showed it to me, but he said it wasn't original, so with him. So you're going to lift up at the break. Your forefinger is going to kick that packet underneath. These cards are then going to dribble as you drop these cards at the same time. And what it should look like is you're doing nothing but select a card, showing the card, placing it into the center of the pack, and then commenting where that card is. Yeah, it's about in the center, cool. And we've done it. We've now successfully placed the card in between the kings and putting 1 X card underneath the deck at the same time. Now I can turn the cards face up and spread the deck and comment where their card might be, okay? It's a nice little, just to get to this point. Because before, when I was doing all these little moves and stuff, I would either have to do a half pass, I'd have to do some kind of side steal, turn the card over, and all this other stuff. This way, it gets you there immediately, all right? So the timing for this, for that one move, and this is really, really important. So Peter, we'll act as if you're signing the card right now, okay? So do me a favor, yeah, just sign your name on it for me. And that's it. I'm in my position. Goes inside, and what would you say, Peter? That's about, what, 30 cards down or so, something like that? And that's when you do the pass. Now come over and say, remember, your card's somewhere in the middle. Say stop. I then point to the person who's holding the cards, or I'll just point to this person. Dribble the cards somewhere in the center, making sure you do not disturb this so they don't see anything. Either pick the cards up yourself, slowly one at a time, or have them put them on top. Deposit the right-hand pack back on top of the left. Now spread, and then remind them there's no card in between those kings, right? And your card's not this card, and your card's not this card, so it's nowhere near the kings. And as I'm saying that, I just get a break under the first face-down card of the right-hand packet. So I point here first, I then bring over, I've got my break now, I'm gonna square the cards up, I've got a break between here, and I'm going to do a turnover pass. And a turnover pass is going to do two things. It's going to look like you just turned the deck face down, but it's going to switch the two packets. So this packet is now going to be the top packet, and this packet, the bottom packet here, will now be the bottom packet on the opposite side, okay? Instead of just turning over. But it should look like you're doing nothing except nothing in between. Of course, that's not your card. Your card's not near the kings in any way, right? And you just turn the cards over, and that's it, okay? I have some work on that, and this is all I can tell you. Put this back down here, okay? When you do this move, you're really gonna feel, excuse me, when you do this move, you're really gonna feel that you're gonna get caught, because it feels really awkward, it feels really strange. But imagine what it looks like to turn over a deck of cards, like that, okay? And spectators don't do that. They never do that. They don't just turn cards over like this. Oh, I wonder what this feels like. Wonder what this looks like. Oh, okay. So if I see it differently from somebody else, I know something funny's going on. They don't do that. So when you do this move, I just look at them. I say, watch, this is really crazy. It happens quickly. And I'll just look up. So I'll do the move and I'll look up at the same time. So all they saw was face-up cards, and then when they look back down, all they see is face-down cards. So you can switch their gaze and make it feel that they don't have to burn you the whole time, in other words. So if you're not comfortable, I'm comfortable where if they want to burn me, they can, I don't mind. But if you're not comfortable with that, I would suggest doing it that way. Just kind of look up at them and then say those words. Snap your fingers, spread, you're gonna push off, spread the top 4 cards, making sure not to show those. Show that one card is now in between the kings. Lift up all 3 cards, lift up the middle card, and now extend to them and have them turn over. They're going to respond when you show there's a card in between the kings right then. The moment they turn it over, they're going to respond, oh my God, whatever. Push off the top 3 cards and hold a break. You're now going to switch these 2 cards for these 2 cards as you turn them over. So now those 2 cards are on top, and the kings are now underneath, okay? First person I ever saw do this was Costa Kimlot. I think he has credit for this, if I'm not mistaken. I know that other people have independently created it. I didn't create it myself at all. This is strictly what I saw Costa do, so it's all Costa. So what you're doing, he does it with 1 card. I don't know if he does it with 2 cards, but you're going to push off the top 3, pull back the top 1, okay? So push off 3 and then 1. But all this is happening when you cover with the kings. Now you'll notice you'll see some edges here. It's very quick. You don't stop and go, watch this. I like to do it as they're turning the card over. I've already got this loaded, and then I just turn the cards over then. So they get a split second view of it. Now take supposedly the first king, place it near the bottom. Take the second king, place it near the top. Grab their card, place it on top, and say, would you be amazed if I could get your card in between the kings right now? Okay, yeah, of course. And you just do the classic fake out. Cut right about in the center. Say, your card is now in between the kings. No, whatever. Say, well, it's not directly in between the kings. Now, as you spread, you're giving a reason. Well, it's not directly in between the kings. You're now going to misplace, you're going to take this card, you're going to displace it for this card. So you're just going to use these fingers to pull that card out underneath, okay? Well, it's not directly, in between. And so all this is done as you're talking to them, right? So there it is. Isn't that amazing? Well, okay, you're right. It's not directly underneath, but it's close. See, actually, you do it. Here, you do it. Square the cards up now. Now what you've done is you've put that in between the kings now. It's already set. And this is the moment I was talking about with Aaron Fisher. It's a great move, but I wanted to have my own version of it. So now you give them the deck, they push all the cards in, they snap their fingers, they turn the deck over, they spread the cards, and in between the kings is 1 face-down card, and they turn it over, and it's their signed card that happens inside their hands. Completely impromptu. So that, my friends, is double decker.
Hi, give me 5. How are you? I like your jacket. It's tight. What's your name? Nice to meet you. You guys want to help out? Cool. Can you help me out with something? If you would, just say stop somewhere for me.
Stop.
Right there. Take a look at that card. Don't let me see it. Show it to the camera, please, though. Don't let me see it. Don't let me see it. Now, I'm going to take out some cards, because I don't know what your card is, but I'm going to try to guess, but I'm going to need some help, okay? I don't know if that sounds weird, but I'll see if it works. Can you help me out? I want you to hold on to these cards. Shuffle them up. Show the camera what they are. You got it? Okay, check this out. You got your card? Let me see it. Don't forget the card. Everybody see the card? Yeah? Okay. I'll go really slow, okay? I'll try to do this if it works. I don't know if it'll work. I'm gonna place it back in the center of the pack, roughly, okay? Roughly in the center. Now I'm gonna try to use these cards to tell me what your card is, okay? Let me see them for a second. So your card could be a heart, a diamond, a club, or a spade, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. The problem is I don't know exactly which one it was. So you guys are gonna help me figure this out. So if you'll just say red for me. Say red.
Red.
Cool. Say black.
Black.
Say red. Say black. Say black again. It was a black card, right? I could tell the way that you did that. You kind of gave it away. You kind of gave it away. Hold on to those for a second. So say spade.
Spade.
Say club.
Club.
Say spade. Say club.
Club.
It was a club, wasn't it? Was it club? Okay, cool. I see how you're giving it away. You're giving it away. Hold out your hand. So we know it was a club. We'll take the queen of clubs, put it in your hand, place your other hand on top of that for me. You're gonna hold on to that for a second, okay? So we know it's a club, but we don't know what the value was. Is that correct?
Correct.
The only way to find the value is I'm gonna actually use the queens. I want you to see the queens in the center of the pack, yeah? Don't take your eyes off the queens. It happens quick. Did you see it happen?
Wait,
If this worked, you'll see the queens have actually changed into the 3 jacks. That means your card must have been a jack of clubs. Was it? But the problem is, heart, diamonds, and spades are here. But if this is the heart, diamond, and spade, and your card was the jack of clubs, the only way I would know what your card actually was is by looking at the queen. Turn it over.
Oh! Wow.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Did you like that?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
That's
thank you.
awesome.
So checkmate came out of the idea of I wanted to be able to take a card, turn it face up, square the cards up, hand the deck to them, and then they go through the cards and the card changed in their hand. That was the goal. With no funny moves, no silliness, right? So I got to the point where I was getting a card face up, second from the top, or second from the bottom. I would then turn over the first card, so I'd find the first card somehow, right? Go into the center, show it, come over here, hand the deck to them at this point, have them snap their fingers, and then spread the deck. And the cool part is I could take the deck back and show each side of the cards, okay? And I loved it. Loved the idea. I could even show it like this, do a pass as I turn everything over, spread the cards again. That one card that should be the 4 is now changed to the 6. So a lot of different cool things you could do with this thing. So then I thought, well, what else can I do with this? What could we do with this? So I took half scissors ace problem and I changed it into a longer routine. I've chopped it up. It looks different than what it normally is, but it has a lot of magic in it. This is called checkmate. And so take any 4 kings, take 3 of those kings, turn them face down, and put them second from the top of a face-up deck, like so, okay? Take the other king, place it on top. Now you're ready to perform, okay? Once again, set up in a restroom or offbeat. Say, I want you to select a card, but in a second, I'm gonna use some other cards to help me out. Now either take out any 4 spot cards or the 4 aces. Don't take out any royalty cards because it's not a good contrast. So I'm gonna take out some spot cards. So let's say we'll take out the 5s. So I'm gonna use these cards. Let me figure something out here in a second. Here, hold on to those for me. So they get to hold on to them. Whenever you change one item to another item, it's very important that you allow that person to hold those cards, hold that pen, hold that deck, hold that coin before you change it. There's something about personal ownership, even if it's false, that when they touch those items and they look at them and they've done whatever, and then they hand them back to you and they're changed now, and then they're handed back to them again, they're part of something big. That's a big thing for them. And so just remind yourself, whenever you do magic, to get that next extra moment, always let them touch the things. Always let them handle those things. Because these are very unique. Supposedly there's only 4 5s in a deck. So if these 4 5s change to something else, well, now they're holding on to something that was something completely different a few minutes ago, a few seconds ago. And that's magic to them. You know, it's not just the change itself, but, you know, if I'm holding on to a pen and all of a sudden I look down, I look back at the pen, and now it's a deck of cards, that's very strange, okay? That's a bizarre moment, and that's very surreal. So you're gonna do that here in a second. So always let them, you know, hold on to those for a second. Now you're gonna slip cut the top card, which is one of the kings, into the center of the pack and hold a break above it, okay? So hold on to this for a second. Let's see. I've got my break. Force that card, so just use a classic force. You don't want to do the classic swing cut, hold a break, riffle force, and here's why. Because if you say stop, they might see those kings there. You don't want that, okay? So if you slip cut it, though, into the center, hold a break, the bottom stock stays the same, and you've only disrupted that one card, which is going to be forced anyways. So classic force that card. If you want to do a riffle force at this point, you're more than welcome to. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary. I think all you should do is just classic force that card. So learn your classic force. It's really good. Show the card. Suppose that you're going to place that card directly in the center of the pack, but really you've placed it on top of the deck using Howie Schwartzman's card displacement move. Beautiful move. It goes here. It looks like you're pushing it in the middle. These cards come out just like Marlowe's tilt. And you're just going to place that directly on top. And the moment that comes right about halfway, you then bring your fingers down and square the cards and dribble, okay? So we'll put it right about there is fine. It's good. And you're done. So now you say, I'm going to use these cards. Let me figure out what your card is. And this is really interesting. You'll like this. You're going to make sure that the suit of this suit, so the matching suit, is on top, okay? You're now going to get a break under the top card as you grab those cards from them. Hold that 5-card break. You're now going to turn this card over and say it could be a club. Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't say the suits first. I say it could be a black card. It could be a red card. Could still be a red card. And it also could still be a black card, okay? And that gets kind of a comedy line. Now, you're going to turn this whole packet over, holding that break, and spread the cards right to the last card. You've now successfully placed those 2 cards next to each other. So the 2 suits are next to each other. So the 2 suits are next to each other. Now, why do I do this? Because this will eliminate a move that most magicians would have to do at this point. You'd have to turn this card over somehow, and usually at the leg if you're more advanced, or secretly, and then you have to hide this, come up, you're now going to get your break, come back over, and now turn over. With this way, it's just very casual. You're just showing. Say, no, but you don't have to hold any breaks. It's perfect. You're right there. Yeah. So it's definitely one of these colors, either red or black, yeah? So you're in that position now. So by doing that, you eliminate that position, by doing that, you eliminate that unnecessary movement, that unnecessary move. Now you say to them, say red, good, now say black. Say red, say black. Whatever they say, you go, yep, it's black, I knew it, or whatever color it's gonna be for you, right? So let's say they say, is red, black, yeah, caught you, yeah, because your shoulder, and I just make up some total bull. Your shoulder went like that, right? So I can tell, like, you're lying to me. It's black. You tried to trick me too. You said red the other way. So they're gonna be like, oh yeah, it was black, or yeah, it was red. Hand them the opposite color of whatever it wasn't. So there it is. So it's black. Okay, say spade, say club, say spade, say club. And as I'm saying this, I'll take the cards off like this, just holding those two cards as one. Say spade, say club. Say spade, say club. So it's just a nice way of showing singleness of the cards. And then pause and go, club. I knew it, club. It's a club. It's a black club. And they're like, oh my God, wait, what? And now they're starting like, wait, how does he know this stuff? You say, well, I tell you what, hold on to the 5 of clubs. So we know it's a club now. We know it's black. Now just turn the double over, hand this card to them, which is now their card. This is the big kicker at the end, right there. Pick up these 3 cards from them. You say, but I still don't know what the actual value of the card is. I know it's a black card, I know it's a club, because the 5 of clubs, and remind them, and just say it over, because the 5 of clubs told me. And what you're doing, excuse me, what you're doing is you're reminding them that they have the 5 of clubs without saying, you have the 5 of clubs still. You're doing it in very sneaky ways. And so we know it's a club, we know it's not a 5 of clubs, obviously, but we know it's a club. So it's things like that, just use little moments like that, little psychological, little twangs there. Now the cards are in the center of the pack. The real 3 cards to the mate of the selection are 3 cards from the bottom, face up with 1 card underneath. And you say, so we know it's not 5, it was a club. Okay, well use the 5s to tell me what your card was. Now all you're gonna do is pull 1 card over, push 1 card over of the left hand underneath. Okay, as you're spreading, square up and hold that break. And now do a pass. Just do a pass. Now I'm going to teach you how I do a pass. I do it differently than most people. Most magicians will tell you you can't do a pass right in front of them, the spectators, and get away with it. That's baloney. It's not true. If I were to do a pass right now, and Alex Pandrea, and there's Homie Leroy, there's tons of guys who can do a pass right in front of you, like right there, and boom. Tony Chang, another dude, just ridiculous. But for a working environment, I'm going to use my environment to my advantage. So I'm going to rotate my body, or rotate my hands, okay? And I'm going to do the pass at the exact same time I rotate, and then I'm going to dribble like that. And what I say to them, I say, and we're going to use the 5s to help me figure out what your card actually is. Okay? Normally when I do a pass like that and I have a selection put back, I say, and your card's lost somewhere in the pack, how far down do you think it is? Okay? So either way, this works perfectly. Now you can flash the bottom card, which is really nice. You say, watch, I think it's happened. Spread the cards out. Bam, there's your first hit. They've all changed to kings. And now you can show very cleanly the bottom card and a few of the other cards there. We know it wasn't a king of diamonds. We know it wasn't a king of spades. It wasn't the king of hearts. It must have been the king of clubs. Was that your card? They say yes. You say, that's why I told you the 5s would tell me what your card is. And I just don't even say anything. I just snap my fingers over their hand and I pause. I don't ever go, turn your hand over. I don't give them direction. I just pause and look at them. And I wait for them to turn their hand over. I wait for them to turn the card over. I want them to experience it. I don't want to force it on them. So, snap. And they'll always say the same thing. Should I turn it over? I'll just, whatever, if you want to. If you want this to end. So they turn it over and bam, in their hands, that 5 or that, whatever that card was, is changed into their selection. This is a very, very strong little trick, totally impromptu, always ready. And the cleanup is real simple, guys. Just whenever you want, just go off to the side and turn those 3 cards over. It's real simple. So that's called checkmate. So this is called First Stop because this is the first trick I ever created in my entire life. This is the first thing I came up with, and I was so happy with myself. And I started doing restaurants when I was about 15, 16 years old, and I used this to get mad tips. So this is a great tip getter trick, and I'll show you exactly what's going on here. It uses a thumb tip, which is our trusty little thumb tips here. You want the plastic kind, you don't want the rubber kind. For this one, I've actually put some some tape in here, some masking tape, so it makes it slicker to slide the bill. The plastic ones are very slick, so you don't have to worry about that. You also need to take 2 bills, and you need to sign them the exact same way, okay? Take one of the bills, fold it up, like this, like this, like that. Turn it this way so the opening is a sharp edge, and place that into the thumb tip, like that. This goes into your pocket. This bill goes into your wallet, and then we have our lovely spectator who's going to have their own bill, okay? So when you're ready to do this, do you have a bill on you? I actually have one myself too. Any bill, doesn't matter what it is. And as you're looking for your bill, you reach inside. I just put it here for explaining purposes, but I would have this next to my wallet, exactly next to my wallet, as I'd grab at the wallet and bring out mine. So I have my wallet, I bring out my bill, take my wallet, put it back, and so forth. Okay. You have a bill? Great. And as you can see, I've signed my bill already, okay? Can you do me a favor and do the exact same thing to your bill? I think I have a pen. Yeah, here we go. Sign your name right there for me. Anywhere, like either there, doesn't matter. Big letters. And make it the correct spelling so when the police come, they can, you know, and that's a great line. It's a funny line. They're like, ha ha ha. And you see, hold on to mine if you would. Awesome. And we'll take yours. We'll fold it up. Nice little package. Now, I don't do anything fancy here for the thumb tip switch. I just do a thumb tip switch. There's no work on this. Just do it. There's no reason to. I say to them, as soon as I get to this point right here, and I do the switch, and I bring that bill out, I say to them, are you right-handed or left-handed? Now, I know a lot of magicians don't like to say that, but I think it's great. It breaks up. It's a great way to break up the brain signals. Are you, I'm right-handed. They have to remember something at that point. So I've switched that out. I've put that back inside. Right-handed or left-handed? Which one are you? Right. Great. Can you hold out your hand for me? Now, if they give you a $1 bill, and they've signed their own $1 bill, it's great because you can just show this bill free and clear. It's good. You don't have to worry about it. But since he gave me a 20, I got to hide it just for a second as I place this into his hand, close his hand, turn his hand over, and place it there like that, okay? Don't worry because you're kind of showing your hands empty by doing this, all right? So you don't have to do any of this stuff. It's just a very casual, oh, perfect, awesome. Let me see my bill. His hand casually drops to the side. They say, would you be amazed if I could reach in your hand and pull out your bill without you opening your hand? It's a pretty good trick, right? See, I'm going to use this bill to do that. Now, that sounds kind of weird, right? It's kind of a surreal thing. So you're going to close it up, fold it. I always look at them and say, what is a magic word that you know that's original? And so abracadabra is the only one. As I'm saying that, I'm doing the bill switch again. Once again, no crazy work, no finesse, no pun intended tips. It's just do it, okay? And then I pause and I go, watch. Did you see it? Did you feel it happen? This is a great moment, guys. You open this up very slowly and they're freaking out. And then all of a sudden you show that signature. And it's gangbusters, without question. You say, but if I have your bill, then there's only one place for mine to be. Check it out. And then I let them open their hand. And inside, of course, is my bill with the signed signature. Now, if you're a restaurant worker, or if you're working at a venue where you can accept tips, this is the way you get tips. It's a comedy line, but use it, and it works almost every time. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Was this the bill that you gave me? And then they would say, yes. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You heard him. He gave it to me. Ha, 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 ha. I'm kidding. And that's when you ditch the thumb tip, bring the bill back out, hand it to him, and almost 80%, 85% of the time, they're going to give it right back to you. No, you keep it. Oh, really? Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much, man. Thank you. And, of course, you've done it for that reason. So I wanted to make sure that there was a way to get tips without making it look like I'm desperate for tips. And this was the trick that I kind of came up with. And that goes back to him. And I'm lost now in New York. I told you. I told you. That's it, guys. That's the Bold Project. These things are ridiculous, and they were handpicked for that reason. I want to thank all of you guys, all my fans, all my customers, everybody, all the new fans, all the new people who've never heard of me. You guys are the reason I keep doing this, to keep pushing forward. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart more than anything. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this. I hope more than anything that when you leave your house and you have one of these gems in your pocket, you have confidence now to perform in a way that you didn't before. You have confidence to walk up to somebody. You have confidence to know that something's going to work, even when you failed miserably so many times. Because that's really what it's all about, is being a magician, is being bold. Being bold with methods, presentations, sleight of hand, using all these things, combining together gimmicks and sleight of hand, learning the craft. We want you to be a better student more than anything, and that's why I created the Bold Project. That's why it's a different project than anything else. And speaking of anything else, there's things on this DVD I know that you didn't think you'd ever see on a Magic DVD. This is not your traditional DVD. Magic with condoms and coins, who does that? We really wanted to put some really fun things on here, but as you can see from the reactions, these are not made-up reactions. These are not forced reactions. These are hardcore people. These are people on the streets of Brooklyn, New York. You know, that's why we didn't go to LA. That's why we didn't go to Ohio or anywhere else like that, because we're not going to get that good feedback, and we sure got it here. And even through the mess-ups, even through the times where I messed up, hopefully you can see how I use those moments to create a moment of astonishment, even though I totally messed up. So be bold, be confident, go out there, perform, and be the best magician that you can possibly be, because you owe it to them, not you. I'm Justin Miller, and this is The Bold Project.